played this artist once. Oh my God, it was terrible. Worse than Kate Bush. Worse than Kate Bush. What's your favourite extinct animal?
I don't know if it's extinct. You don't know where they were actually real, but and then we thought, let's rebrand with a different name. And then all my band members then said, I don't want to be in a band anymore.
People, whoa.
It's a full Dougie's atomic dustbin, so let's turn on the show, yeah. Underground music never sounds so good, yeah. Kirk and Janice are playing what'll grab us, so try not to spill your tea, yeah. Underground music never sounds so good. Underground music never sounds so good.
There we go, people. What did you think of that little ditty? That was fucking awesome, man. And here's the man himself, those heavy souls. How you doing, fella?
Yeah, good man. How are you?
Craig, absolutely love that track.
Cheers, man.
That's awesome, that. It's the first time I've heard it, because Johnny's telling me today, obviously it's not out in the ether yet.
Yeah, it's a song no one really heard. It's me and my producer. So you, Janice, and me and my producer.
Yeah, and everyone else watching the show.
And everyone else watching.
Brilliant. Thanks for giving us that. We love it when we get stuff like that. And I'm always resting assured. If Janice sends me something, it's going, when other people send me something, oh, did you put this on your show? No, not until I've heard it. Not until I've scrutinised it, because it could be garbage. I felt foul for that before, I tell you, fella. And I played this artist once. Oh my God, it was terrible. Worse than Kate Bush. Worse than Kate Bush. Worse. Anyway, tell us a bit about those heavy souls then.
Yeah, so it's a solo project. Am I doubling up? I can hear me. I can hear me twice. Are we okay?
Oh, you can a bit. Have you got it monitored somewhere? I sort of heard it then. Shouldn't have. No,
I just crack on.
No.
Yeah. So it's a solo project. I was in a band called Columbia, based in Cardiff. I know there's another Columbia up in Liverpool. But yeah, so that sort of when it's grey and did its time. I had band members in that band that basically were keeping their feet in and out, and it weren't really a lot of commitment in it, and it weren't really a lot of enthusiasm. And I know I only do this as I got a full-time job and I do this just because I love doing it. But if you're gonna do something, you've got to
go balls in.
You've got to give it everything. So. The band finished, and I just decided I still had quite a few songs, so I'm just going to carry on and just record them myself.
Yeah, and that sounds absolutely superb. But yeah, great sound, mate. But you're right when we said that with our last guest we was chatting to. A lot of us are doing this and doing other jobs to fund the stuff that we're doing. Because we love doing it and enjoying the ride, but we also give it the best we can give it. If we can afford the best, I try and we all started off with simple kit, but then you build up and you try and get the best all the time. Can I get a better version of that? Can I make it look better? Can I make it sound better? And you've got to do it, haven't you? Rather than just settling, you've got to keep driving.
It is, honestly,
forward.
I got loads of songs. And the sound of these new songs with these heavy souls is quite a bit different to what Columbia were. If you listen to the debut album we had when we released with Columbia, you can hear like the massive like Oasis influence and all that proper like that Oasis sound, like the big guitars and big guitar solos and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But where I'm obviously still kind of keeping that. The indie feel, but now there's a bit more of a tinge of like electronic in there, and so my producer, who is based in Cardiff as well, Sanders at Kings Road Studio, we've been working together since Columbia started recording their album in, I think it was like 2020. So we sort of recorded that album in between lockdowns. But every song I've recorded since, I've just gone back to him because he's great at what he does, and you can go in there with an idea, and and he'll just turn it into something that you think, like, yeah, I wasn't even expecting that. That's a lot better than what was in my brain. And as a musician, I'm quite limited in the fact that I can play a couple of chords on a guitar.
Yeah.
But I've got ideas in my head of what I want it to sound like. So I go in with Sanders in the studio and say, I want it to sound like this. And he's like, yeah, no problem. I've been working with a guitarist as well from Cardiff called Steve Kenwood, he's in a band called Small Miracles. And they're a great band as well. They're another unsigned band that's hoping to get somewhere.
Yeah.
But he's coming with a kind of like a different sound to what my other guitarists would have been. So we grew up both listening to Oasis, both loving the Rolling Stones, and sort of like Columbia was that sound. That was a sound we were aiming for. So with this now, we've kind of gone for something that's a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. And it makes sense. I mean, just because, just let me turn my mic over a bit. You don't have to be able to do everything, do you? That's why we employ other people, or other people do certain things. Do you know what I mean?
But I was listening to an interview with Roy. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
And he was saying sort of the same thing, wasn't he? That he doesn't really play a lot of instruments, but he's got a couple of good people that come in and can sort of grab the idea that he's talking about and then turn it into the thing that he wants it to be.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, someone, Janice says the guy you're talking about did the mastering for our jingle that I played at the start of the show.
Right.
As you come on, that's from the ball slant there in Sweden. And they produced that for us, but he took it to that guy in Wales, and he mastered it for us, which is brilliant. Right. Hats off to him, tell you. Is that
awesome?
Billy took a sound? Is it? You say? Is that who it is? Yeah. Yeah, could sound absolutely brilliant. Oh, it's good, mate. It's good. And so what's the plans going forward? So if you've, a bit like Roy, if it's a solo project and you want to do anything on stage, you're going to have to do something, aren't you? You're going to have to pull some people together.
I've been doing the acoustic stuff and trying to get these songs I'm recording, sort of get them out there and give them a bit of an airing, and get a reception back and see what the reaction is. But trying to get gigs at the minute, especially when you're saying, I've got these songs, they sound great, but I haven't got a band and just me on my guitar. So it's been a bit of a struggle at the minute just to try and find gigs. My producer, Sanders, is a drummer. So he's in a band called Ritual Cloak. But we've put in plans together that, he's going to drum, and Steve, who I've got coming in on guitar, is going to come in and play. And we sort of just going to get a couple of musicians together, just so that the songs that we are making, we can actually play live, even if it's just a couple of gigs here and there. I just think that the songs that have come out and the songs that we've recorded, they sound so good that just playing them on acoustic guitar, just I don't think it does them justice about how good and how big the sound is.
Yeah, you're right, because that track we just played, doing that acoustic could have a totally different vibe to it, wouldn't it?
Completely different, yeah.
If it's a track that is very popular, very well known, and you do acoustic version, people go, "Oh, great! This is a different version of that track," and they know the original track, so they can relate to the new guise of it, can't they? But when it's something that people are not aware of, you go and do an acoustic. Especially in some gigs, they want drums, they want guitar, they want the sound, don't they? So
when I was we played quite a few gigs with Columbia, with the last band. Our last big gig, we played Shine On in 2022.
Yeah.
And we played that gig and it was full band. So there's a lot of people that know those songs, and like we said, but when I play those acoustically, it's it's a bit of a treat, and then you can say, you can kind of see, or you can feel what that song means, rather than just having big crashing drums and massive guitar solos and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Sam. Well, I'm sure you'll come with a solution, whether it's collaborating with some other people or getting another band that might be in Wales and going, right, play these lads. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the lead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's got to be bands out there. I mean, we're Subterranea. They're in Swansea. They're a great band.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's loads of them out there. Maybe you could do that as well. I don't know. But it'll come to you, whatever. I think you're doing the right thing. You're producing what you want to produce, how you want it to sound. Then you can go, do you know what? Let's do this with it. Or who wants to get involved in this? And a bit like Roy's doing, you can pull it together, can't you? You know, you can create something else with it. She's great. So it's good. I'm waiting for some questions to come in, but I'm going to ask you the same question that got asked to Edidion, who's just been on, and it was.
I got my answer ready.
Have you got your answer for it? What's your favourite extinct animal?
I don't know if it's extinct. You don't know where they were actually real, but as someone from Wales, I got to say dragon, and I.
Oh yeah, dragon. Oh well, I think they could have been real. Do you know what I mean?
They must have been, surely.
Because all over the world, there's references to fire-breathing dragons, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, why not?
So I definitely, as a proud Welshman, I definitely got to say dragon.
Brilliant, because what you've done what you've done. You've dragged it into your world. So we like that. A dragon. So we've got a dragon. It's going to have to be one of our regular questions, isn't it? We'll run out of it.
Yeah. So I like it when I heard it. It was like I was thinking. First of all, my mind went straight to like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's got to be dragon. It's got to be.
I love it. It's brilliant. I'll get all the sensible questions on here. There's all sorts of things going on. So, harking back to, because I'm sure we've played all your music when it's in the other band, because unless it's the other Columbia, but I know we've been playing.
Yeah, probably.
We've been playing Columbia. Janice, have we been playing this Columbia or the other Columbia? I don't know. We've not been snorting any Colombian, but we'll leave that to another time. Do you know what I mean? So. Have you got any funny stories from the band? You're not slagging them off, but like disasters on stage or anything?
Yeah, well, there was a band that came down from Liverpool, and their manager contacted me saying, "I'd love you to play a gig up in Liverpool, because obviously and they confused us with the actual Columbia." So when I messaged them, said, I'll be travelling up from Cardiff, so what time do you want us to be there? And then he messaged back saying, Cardiff. I was like, oh yeah, we at Columbia, that we played with you on that gig. I think it was at This Feeling gig. I was like, oh, we played with you like a couple of weeks ago. And he's like, oh, sorry, mate, I thought you were at Columbia from up here.
Oh, so, ouch.
We just, like, with the name, obviously the name comes from Oasis and, Columbia off Definitely Maybe. But we just thought it was a great name, and it sounds like a great band name. We just didn't do our due diligence of like looking up and thinking like, are there any other bands called Columbia? So it was a little bit of confusion. So in the end, we had to put Columbia Wales on all our like Twitter handles and Instagram, and they just become a bit of a mess. And then we thought, oh, let's rebrand with a different name. And then all my band members then said, I don't want to be in a band anymore. So that's kind of why I haven't just gone as Craig Lewis. I've just gone and kept the band name, because everything was already in place there.
No, I'm glad you've done that. I think it's good. A bit like Roger's done with Yonmon, and you've done the heavy. It's good because it allows you to grow into something else rather than it being that.
Yeah.
And then when other people come along and go, oh, it's called that, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it's all about you and all that. You got the ego. So that's what they'd be like, wouldn't they? Oh, what about me? Can't I be called?
Yeah. But I think as well, because there's been like this collaboration. I've got my producers involved, quite heavily. I've got guitarists. I got Meg, who comes in on violin, and she plays on like all the acoustic stuff. So it is kind of like a collective. I know it's me as like the main guy, so to speak, but it ain't without all these other people. I've not been able to create this music, so it is kind of a collective thing.
Makes sense. No, it's really good. There was something I was going to ask you then, and it's completely gone out of my head. No, it's good. It sounds interesting, and I think what you're doing is right, and you're doing it for the right reason. I think it might have been about the band. Oh, that was it. The band names, you see, and that's what frustrates me a lot of the times when I find bands connect with us, and they go, "There's such and such a thing," and I go and go, "There's 3 other bands called that," and it's like, You know, yeah, but we won't be called that because anything. I don't think that guys realise what they're putting together. It might sound great for you, and if you've not done your research, then how do you expect to grow a fan base if you're putting it out there and they find? Don't know. There's a couple I can think of, and I started typing in. I got some band from 1970s in the States on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you think, hang on a minute, people are going to be looking for you, and they're not going to be able to find you, and they're just
and I think that was a big part of the issue with being called Columbia. There was when you were searching Columbia, the first thing was coming up was the song by Oasis, and then if you were putting Columbia band, the first band that was coming up was the band from Liverpool, and they weren't us. So you're kind of just getting lost in the search, and people are like, well, are they even a band? You know, I've seen them, but I can't find them, so I'm not going to bother trying to look for them.
And people don't bother. So it's a tip from me, as someone producing a show or doing a show, it's like the links on Spotify. People don't put bios on, they don't put links on. So I'm doing a show and think, oh, I like that. I'm going to go find out a bit about it and go click. I want to connect with them. And I go, I can't be bothered because I've not got time to go and find them. Yeah. Luckily, I've got Janice and say, Janice, can you've got the link for whoever it is? And then she'll send it to me. But people have not got time for it, and so get your socials right, get your band name right for a start that no one else has got, and get your Spotify links.
Like those heavy soul, it came from the guitarist I had then. Is a big Weller fan. And there's a Weller album called Heavy Soul.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be called the Heavy Souls, but there was already a band called the Heavy Souls.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then it was like my drummer then just said, "Oh, why don't you just put those?" Looked at it, and there's nothing here called Those Heavy Souls. So.
No, you're right. This is good. Brilliant. Love it. There's the heavy. And the heavy souls, we've got them, and there's those heavy souls. So that's all. That's the only three things come up like that. So that's pretty. But to come up with a unique name is very difficult.
It's difficult.
Honestly, mate, it's difficult. Yeah, it is. I mean,
and when the sound's good as well.
Yeah, exactly. If it invokes what you're doing, it's not good, is it? So. Mixcloud's been really slow. I'm looking for. I can't keep refreshing it, and it's not refreshing, and a bit of refresh. So, yeah. So you've not doing any gigs because you're doing acoustic gigs, aren't you? You're going to do some acoustic.
Yeah.
Gigs.
So I was speaking to a promoter yesterday about similar to right at the end of just putting our own gigs on, so that I can get bands that I want to listen to, and then I'll just I'll start the show off, or I'll play someone in the middle. Do a little bit of an acoustic number before, like, a band that's got a big, massive sound is going to come on after us.
That sounds good.
You know, so I'm not too proud to put a show on and put myself at the start.
I like that.
And then have those bands come on later on when they've got more of a crowd that's finished later on. And I just want to play gigs and try and get that music out there.
Yeah, because what you're doing there is almost like producing like a show where you've got a presenter who might. I'm trying to think. You're actually involved in it, but you're sort of bringing other acts on, and so I think that's really good. So I like that. It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. It sounds good.
Yeah, it's the show that I'll be putting on in the next month will be me, and then there's two other bands. One is called Bag of Cats. Have you heard of Bag of Cats?
No, but we'll have a look for them. Bag of Cats.
Oh, have a look at them. There was a band. I think they're an American band. They were called KG Elephant. Remember them?
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah.
So they kind of sound like that, and there's only two of them. There's one on the drums and one that plays all the instruments. So get onto them. Have a listen to them. Bag of Cats. They're great fun as well, and two absolute stars. And then. Another band, a Welsh band called Wet Paint Limited.
Right.
So they're kind of like acoustic, but they've got like a bongo drum, and there's four in the band, and they all sing. And they've got a song out that's called Juice, and it's an absolute riot of a song. It's one of those songs you listen, and you just kind of, tapping your foot along and bopping your head. It's just a great song.
So what's the other band called? What I've done, I've added a track from A Bag of Cats on the back of the playlist, so if people want to get it, they can. What's the Wet what?
Wet Paint Limited.
Wet Paint Limited.
No, it's a ridiculous name, but it's 4 boys, absolutely great.
Wet Paint Limited, yeah, is that what you said?
Yeah, and they attract Juice.
I love that. I love the sound of that. That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Wet Paint Limited. Oh, love it. Comes straight up. Limited people spell LTD as in
LTD. Yeah.
What's Juice? Is it?
Juice.
Right,
we're gonna have a blast.
We're gonna have that. We're not gonna play it all, but let's have a quick listen. Yeah, I like this.
It's a party.
That's a toe stamper, that, and a foot stamper.
Yeah, honestly, they've got plenty of songs like that as well. So, if you're ever around Cardiff, when I start promoting this gig, try and get yourself down to Cardiff. And
from the Rhondda Valley, brought together by a love of music and lock-ins at the local. This is a proper, I like this. Formed in 2022, they've since become a live favourite on the South Wales scene. Yeah, well, like it. I love that.
Great band, great boys as well. Yeah.
Brilliant, and you're promoting your local artists, which I like. Mantre's commented, and what did he? It's Cardiff, because I think he's down that neck of the woods. Who is a musician, and he's in Mantre, so he might be someone you want to go and check out.
All right,
Janice will link you up. You might want to have a chat with him. Anyway, he's got years of experience in the business. Put it that way. Used to gig all the time. He's not interested in gigging anymore, but might be a good connection for it. But I'm liking that. You've put us onto a couple of crackers there, mate.
Yeah, they are. Great fun, great bands. Just when you go to a gig and you just want to, it's not too serious and it's just toe tapping, head banging.
I was in a pub then, a nice pub somewhere with real ale. Do you know what I mean? Proper people. That's what it felt like as soon as I started listening to that. I love that.
That's the vibe. That is exactly the vibe they bring.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like a beer festival. You could go to a beer festival and they'd be on.
Yeah.
I like that, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. So you've sent us that track you've got, and you've got a couple currently out. Everything Changes and Hold Me Up. So they're the ones you've currently got out there.
Yeah. So what day is it today? Wednesday. Honestly, I'm a teacher, so I've been off school for the last 5 weeks. So you kind of lose track of days.
You do. Who'd be a teacher, Jesus. But yeah, go on.
I'm a PE teacher, so.
Oh, yeah, evil.
It's not that bad.
You're an evil bastard, then. That's what my PE teachers were like. Evil. They were evil. That's me. Evil to be PE teachers.
You've got to shout them with the Angry socks.
Mate,
Angry socks is the end of the world.
You missed out because in the 70s you could abuse us and do everything to us. Get us to do what? Have you ever heard of Wally? Have you ever heard that? Wally, get on there with Pickstone. Wally, 15 minutes. Oh, my legs. Oh, yeah. I forgot my kit, sir. Here, I get this scraggy shit on then. You couldn't do that now, could you? Because you
can't do it now.
No, because you'd be abusing their human rights and there'd be a big smelly box.
I used to have a big box with sweaty, smelly, old peak that's just been left in the change room showers.
Yeah.
And it's like, bang, have that. Oh, sir, I can't wait for that.
No, me human rights. Oh, yeah. Whatever. Well, next time it'll make you not forget your kit next time, boy.
I know exactly.
Idiots.
So
anyway. On another note.
Yeah. So Thursday I got my next single, "How High Is Too High." So that's again, it's a bit of a dancey one. It's quite a bit different again from all the Columbia stuff. And if you listen to the last single, it's got that electronic feel. It's got a bit of a dancey feel to it. Where I think my writing of songs has changed a bit, in that when I used to write the songs for Columbia, I'd sit there with an acoustic guitar, and I just play the chords along. But now I've got like a conscious effort to like create a bit of a bass or a beat before I start recording. So it's got that, that bit of a toe tapper that, so you're already bouncing into it before you even start putting any music on top of it. So,
Sound.
kind of like template of how I'm writing now is, the band, the music.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's gearing more towards that than it is towards Oasis now. A bit more Kasabian. When I let one of my friends listen to a new song the other day, he said it sounded a bit like Joy Division. So, that's always pleasing to hear.
That's a good compliment, isn't it? It's an absolute compliment. Brilliant, mate. We love it. Just a quick one before you go. So I like your image of on your Spotify. I'm trying to bring it up and make it a bit large because it'd be too small. You look like you're in a disused warehouse or something, and it's no roof on it.
So if the first single was Everything's Changing, and the video for that was filmed on that site. So that site used to be an old iron ore mine in the village that I live in. So my village, a little village in South Wales called Llanari, and used to have a massive iron ore site there years ago. So it's still got loads of like old buildings. So me and my friend John, who was on camera duties, went there and shot the video there. So the video's on YouTube.
Excellent.
And it's come out really well. So we had a proper photographer, Lloyd, Stay Focused Photography. He's based in Swansea, and he came and took some shots. So
yeah, and they've come out right, and I like it. When you see photographs that are simple, because that's a very simple.
Yeah.
People think that's a simple photograph. It's not. It's quite complex in getting that shot, and to get something that looks so straightforward like that, and like I said, I've said it again, simple. It takes a skill, and I really
he's superb.
I like the simplicity of it and the urbanness of it, the rawness of it. I think that's absolutely great.
So most of a lot of the pictures he's taken will be the artwork for the album. So I've got a website running, just www.thosheavysouls.com.
Yeah.
And the picture that's on, as that website comes on, that picture will be the album picture, or the album artwork.
Yeah, brilliant. Got it. Oh, see, you made a schoolboy head. I know that doesn't look like him. I typed in The Heavy Souls. So I've got some goons. They're not you.
There's plenty of goons in my life.
Oh, mate, we've all got goons in our life. We can't get away from them, can we? We keep trying. That's why we do stuff like this, to get away from the madness.
Yeah.
Right, can you do us a favour before you go? Because I'm going to have to get ready for you in a minute, because I've got a show to carry on. How rude! Can you do us listen, you have to come on my long format one that I'm launching.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
And we'll talk about all things Welsh and stuff like dragons and dungeons and misconceptions about Wales and all that stuff.
There's plenty of them.
Oh, we
Lots
know.
of true, though.
Well, we know, yeah. Well, anyway, we can chat about that, can't we? Can you do us an artist drop so we can use it as a jingle? Can you just say, this is the Heavy Souls, Those Heavy Souls, sorry, that's another band, Those Heavy Souls, and you're listening to DuggystoneRadio.
Yeah. This is Those Heavy Souls. I said Stoles then.
Start again, crack again, go on.
This is Those Heavy Souls, and you're listening to DuggystoneRadio.
Brilliant. And it's definitely not Welsh. You are, but this isn't. Anyway, wonderful. Great to chat with you.
Top man.
Keep in contact with
Janice. Thanks to Janice for setting us up.
She's awesome, isn't she? Keep in touch with us.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're working on, we'll have you on again. It's not a one-hit wonder. Roy's been on about 5,000 times now. So we like to bring people back so you keep them in the psyche. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Right. We're gonna...
Awesome, yeah. Cheers, Kirk.
Thanks a lot, brother. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving us the track before. Cheers, man. Oh, get him on. He's gone. Just like that. He's gone. I was saying thanks for giving us the track. So Janice will tell him that. But it's wonderful. Great to chat to him, wasn't it? Those Heavy Souls. This is Vivas.